Did y'all catch this one? The 7th-seeded Timberwolves stunned the number 2 seed Grizzlies in Game 1 as they secured the victory 130-117 Saturday. It was his first playoff game. Anthony Edwards made it count. He led all scorers with 36 points. Now Minnesota looks to take a 2-0 series lead tomorrow night. Shannon, what do you think? Is Game 2 a do or die for the Memphis Grizzlies?
It is, because, Skip, they don't have the veteran. They're not a team that's been in this position before. I can see if they were Milwaukee. Milwaukee goes down 0-2 last year to the Brooklyn Nets, Skip. Yeah. Were able to dig out of that hole. They go down 0-2 to the Phoenix Suns. They're able to dig out of that hole because they're a veteran-laden ball club. Or the Golden State Warriors, teams that have been together for an extremely long period of time that's been battle-tested. They go down 0-2, Skip. I'm not sure Memphis has been together long enough of have the wherewithal to try to come out, to try to come back and beat this team. Skip, Minnesota has more. I don't know, because, Skip, we don't watch Minnesota. We don't really talk about Minnesota that much unless Karl Anthony Towns gives you 60, what he gave us about 2 or 3 weeks ago, or Ant-Man dunks on somebody. Skip, they put 6 guys in double figures. They had Ant-Man with 36, Karl Anthony Towns had 29 and 13, and they let Malik Beasley go get 23. Yep. D'Angelo Russell didn't play very well. So you got Karl Anthony Towns, who's been an all-star, D'Angelo Russell, who's been an all-star. Anthony Edwards is just a matter of time before he becomes an all-star. They have offensive firepower, and when you allow them to get up and down, in every run that Memphis sent at them, they sequestered it. They blocked it out. They said, nope, we will not lose this ball game today, Skip. Anthony Edwards, we saw, Skip, the play-in game, and we saw, so back-to-back 30-point game for, I don't know what they call the play-in, Skip. It's not a regular season. It's almost like it doesn't even happen, so because nobody gets the stats from those games. But we watched him against the Clippers. We watched him in his first playoff game, Skip, go get 36, one of the for a playoff debut, one of the best playoff debuts in NBA history. So we know he's the #1 overall pick, so we know what he represents. Karl Anthony Towns was a monster. We know what he's more than capable of doing. Skip, Memphis, this is a must-win for the Memphis Grizzlies. I do not believe they can go down 0-2 and come back against Minnesota, because Minnesota now are starting to believe that they belong, hold on, this is not a surprise to us. We should be here. Look at the talent we got. We got 2 #1 overall draft picks. D'Angelo Russell, if I'm not mistaken, Skip, was a #2 overall draft pick. So it's not like they're getting guys in the 20s that was drafted in the 20s. It's not like they're getting free agents. These are high quality players. Memphis, you better win this game. Now, I think a lot of it had to do, Jaren Jackson got in foul trouble. Dylan Brooks played well, but he was in foul trouble. Ja was inefficient, but he got to the free throw line 20 times. Skip, they're going to have to play a lot better. They gave up a 41-point first quarter, a 32-point third, and a 33-point fourth. That won't get it done. They're a better defense. They're a top defensive team, and they just let Minnesota go get a $130 on them in their building.
Okay, so as I made my picks on Friday when you were sitting across from me, I told you I'm going to tiptoe out to the end of the limb, and I can hear it creaking underneath me. This skinny little limb that I'm on, it's creaking and cracking underneath me because I'm going to plunge, and I picked the Memphis Grizzlies, the team I have loved all year long, to win the West. After what I saw from Phoenix last night, that seems dubious at best at this moment. But I must admit, I wasn't stunned by what I saw on Saturday at Memphis, but I was surprised. And the reason I wasn't stunned is because of Minnesota. They're arriving right before your very eyes. We saw it. We saw it in the play-in. We saw who they are. We saw what Pat Bev means to them, because they're a young team with an old head who knows how to play and has shown them not to be afraid. And Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, is arriving right before your very eyes with his swagger, with his presence, with his body language. As he said the other night about the Clippers, he said that they were afraid to guard me, meaning they're afraid of me. And I'm not sure they were afraid, but he is striking fear in everybody he plays, because you can just see by the dribble he gets more supremely confident in what he has to work with. He's got an NFL body, and he's growing up right before your very eyes. He's learning how to play. I watched him a lot at Georgia, and I didn't love him because he didn't shoot it very well. Well, he's starting to shoot it better and better. This year, he went from 33% his rookie year from 3. Now he's up to 36. It's barely passable. It works for him because he is so powerful and so physical and so athletic. And free throws, he's up now to 79%. It's not great, but it's workable. It's passable. And so the other day we're watching. You know, I'm sitting back saying he's just too good for them right now because he came out ready to play. Carl Anthony came out after, obviously, an off game against the Clippers, ready to play. Malik Beasley was ready to play. They were all readier to play than Memphis was. And I know Ja watches our show. Maybe a lot of them watch our show. And I started thinking, do I bear some responsibility here? Because when I pick him to win the West, I envision Ja sitting back saying, yeah, we got this. We got an easy opening round opponent in Minnesota.
No, you don't.
Yeah, they come out and failed to match the edge, the intensity, the physicality, and the sheer RPM that Minnesota was playing at coming out of the Clippers blowout win. It ended up a blowout win in the fourth quarter, obviously. So, to me, Ja started off fine because he made 4 of his first 5. Then he goes through a stretch where he misses 9 of his next 10 shots, and that was the stretch Minnesota just took the game over. And once they took it over, there was no looking back. And even in the fourth quarter, Memphis goes 1 of 7 from 3, while the T-Wolves kept making, they made 5 out of 14, and that's why they were able to win the fourth quarter and pull away in the game where they won fourth 33-25. Well, in the end, they're so deep that you couldn't even see their depth the other day because it got overshadowed by the arriving firepower of the visiting team. And I saw a quote from Anthony Edwards after the game. He said, yeah, what I love about it here is, speaking of trash talk, he said, we hear a whole lot of trash talk from the Memphis fans. And it seemed more sort of affable, more, more sort of G-rated.
He said the kids be getting involved.
Yeah.
He said the kids be getting involved.
The kids, that's what he said. The kids are getting involved. But he says, we're feeding off it because we're built for it because they like to talk their noise also. So Memphis talks, T-Wolves talk back. And Shannon, I cannot exaggerate enough how much it means to a younger team to have Patrick Beverley on your side in a game like that. Because he's making plays all over the floor. He's getting under skin all over the floor. He's irritating. He's annoying. He's disrupting. He's distracting. And he makes big little plays down the stretch that just turn the tide. I don't know. They are a force to be reckoned with. And so back to your point, I picked them. And tonight, it's not only a must-win, it's a cannot lose. You cannot lose this game because I don't see how this team could then go up to Minnesota and win a game or two. What do we see last year? The one team you left out was the team I like, the Clippers. Well, obviously, they lose to Dallas games 1 and 2 at was then Staples Center. And remember, they go to Dallas on Friday night and Sunday, and they win games 3 and 4. Well, guess who? They had Kawhi Leonard, who's been a Finals MVP and has won rings, obviously, with the Spurs. And they had Paul George, who had turned back into playoff P. Well, he's a veteran player with superstar talent. And those two alone just rose above Luka and said, we got this. Well, help me out. Do I see a Kawhi or a Paul George on the Grizzlies? I don't. Not yet.
No. You're right. And Reggie Jackson has been in the playoffs, had been and played well in big moments.
Huge for the Thunder.
I think the mistake sometimes young teams make is that they rely too much on their crowd. And they're like, okay, our crowd will get us back into the ball game, or our crowd will take them out of the ball game instead of coming out playing. They did not match the intensity in which I guess they thought that Minnesota was just happy to be there. Like, oh yeah, we wanted to play in tournament. We just happy to be here. No, they believe Ant-Man, they believe that they can win a playoff series. They believe that they can go far. When you look at the talent and you hear them talk, Skip, Karl Anthony Towns, when he comes to play, he's the third best big in basketball.
He is.
I'm not taking him over Yoke. I'm not taking him over Embiid.
Yep.
But I'm not taking any other big man over him.
No.
I'm not taking Gobert. I'm not taking any other big man over Cat. Anthony Edwards, Skip, and I love Melo. But Melo can't touch this guy offensively. This kid has supreme athleticism. He's unafraid of anybody. And when he gets the ball in his hands, he says, I can rise up over you and shoot it, or I can blow past you and dunk it on your head. So he's playing with extreme confidence. And you mentioned Malik Beasley. They got guys that fit. They understand their role. Pat Bev understands his role. My job is to be an irritant, get 75% of the 50-50 balls, grab a rebound, hit a key layup, maybe a big three here or there.
Yeah.
That's his job. He understands it. He embraces it. But those two big guns, Ant-Man and Cat, they are to deal with. They are a load.
They're a load. And by the way, I'm going to throw this factor in. Now that Alex Rodriguez is an owner of the T-Wolves, I think it empowers the players to think he's on our side because, listen, no matter what you think,